All right, final step, we're going to do just a little bit of the chipping. It's a pretty simple technique. Everyone no doubt has seen it before. It's the sponge chipping technique. Yeah, it's really not the most complicated of things to do. I use, see if I can find it, very professional here. Here we go. This is the MIG chipping. I use it for chipping because it says on it chipping there. Give them a shake. I get a set of tweezers, a little bit of just kitchen sponge like that. Break it up so that it's got like a nice rough random sort of edge on it. I don't know if you can see that. There you go, that's it. Have a little piece of paper towel set up. Bit of the stuff on the sponge, maybe a little bit more. There he is. And then it's just a case of gently chucking it where you want it. Now, the areas that will, I think, look most believable are the, he's fucking cooked that. The edges of the armor. So I'll just get rid of that like this. The edges where the paint is obviously thinnest at these edges. If you look at in real life, if you look at vehicles like tanks and things, the chipping is always on the edges because that's where the paint has to go around a corner. Paint's thinnest at the edges, it chips there. You're also more likely to get it scratched there. So what I do like to do it like this. To put some, less is more. Don't go crazy with it. Otherwise it will look a bit funny. So you can see I've done some here already. After you've done that, we let that dry a little bit. And then I like to take a simple mechanical pencil. This is just a mechanical pencil, and get the side of it, and you just run it down these edges here. It adds a, I don't know, it adds a little bit of extra, you can sort of dig into the paint a little bit. I haven't varnished this yet. It's been now 48 hours, just over 48 hours, and I think the color's where I want it. It's very similar to the rest of my army. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm sort of creating actual scratches in the paint, like digging it a little bit so that you can sort of see that it's actually digging into the paint a little bit there, and also at the same time leaving a bit of a shine. That shine, once you put the matte varnish on it, it'll still sort of hang around a bit, but it's more a depth and a color that it leaves. So if you have a look there, that's what we're going for. We'll hit this corner here. And I'm just using the side of the lead. Again, don't go nuts with this. But yeah, I really like the look of this. It does actually, this is a military modelers have been doing this for, I don't know, decades. Yeah, this is nothing new. You just go around, chuck it on all those bits. You can see where we've put our chips here. The paint is still a little bit soft there, so we can go like that and it'll actually dig into the paint a bit more. Yeah, so that is basically the final stage. Well, the final stage that I need to show you guys. You can see the change in the color. See where that color is now to where it was when we started. I've obviously, yeah, I should have mentioned that. I've actually obviously finished the rest of the metallics. There's a couple of little bits here that I need to do, but you know, that's just basic painting, coloring in. There's a couple of little things here, but you can see the color that we're achieving there. I've added little bit of heat bloom on the weapons barrels here, and for that I've used some of this weathering powder as well, and I've used the burnt red and the burnt blue. It's really subtle. It's not like that wild sort of heat bloom that some people do. I think I prefer it like this. I don't like it. It's too wild a color, but it just enough to, you know, to be visible. You know, personal preference. So what I've done here, like I was saying in the last video, get some nice transitions in color. So a bit of wet blending here on this Alpha Legion symbol on his chest there. I've used, it's all the same color, and all I've done is tint that Omega symbol at the back there with Seraphim Sepia, just to make it stand out a bit. These little sections in here, let's see if we can see in here, like the this ball socket on the arm is just done with Runefang steel, and just so it's really nice and clean and bright, where I picture the, you know, it's the hydraulic linkage or something like that. Yeah, I haven't gone crazy with the chips and scratches. You can see this is all just Runefang steel on the edges here, just where it would naturally bump into things. Yeah. So what I'll do now is I'm going to put him on my base that I'm going to actually, he'll come off this base. So I'll take him off there because he's just got a little bit of super glue on there. This was just to paint with. I've got a base prepared, which is a rusty base. I'm then going to add some pigments to the bottoms of the feet here. As you can see, yeah, you can see I haven't really touched the feet. The feet, you don't really want people focusing on the feet, I find. The feet need to be tied into the base, and by the time you wash the pigment into these little sections here, there's not really much point going crazy with painting them. Again, it's a good way to show you how this can work here. Yeah, there we go. All right, I guess the next time you see this thing, it'll be on Instagram at The Real Broken Fingers. I'll do a little, maybe do a little finishing video on here or something. But yeah, thanks for following along. There's more videos on the way. Yeah, sweet. See ya.